Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Ray Formula Ford at Lime Rock Classic for what should be, if not quite the draft fest of the V's, should be a very close week of racing. Anyway, my apologies for sounding quite so nasal. I am full of cold as I'm making this video, but I did want to update all of the rookie videos to include now the wheel cam and the pedal cam, and also the little introductions from me so you know who I am. Anyway, any questions, let me know in the comments, or even just say hello. It does help me out with the algorithm. Let's start the hot lap. Right, just before we start the hot lap, you can see this is this week's conditions, 39 degrees on the track, so it is a warm one with less grip. So we're smashing it down the main straight, looking for the 2 marker on the left-hand side, brake briefly up to about 65%, drop it down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd, now gradually back up to full gas as we attack that curve, back over to the right-hand side in 3rd gear, light dusting of the brake, dropping it down to 2nd, really clipping that corner. We're absolutely flat through turn 4. Up to 3rd gear. I leave it in 3rd gear when we go up through the uphill. That way, when I do this lift, we have got the engine braking. Steering gets light over the top of the crest, looking for the last bushy tree on the left-hand side. As we get that brake briefly up to about 30%, leave it in 3rd gear, back on the gas. We're now going to change up to 4th gear, coming down the hill, and a lift. Again, just kissing that curb. Don't want to kiss it anymore, you'd end up in that grass. And over and across the line we go in a 53.4. Right, let's do the breakdown lap. Okay, let's quickly smash through this breakdown. So, first braking marker is just before we hit this 2. We're going to brake up to about 65%, and we're going to trail that off down to the first apex, more or less under the bridge. I drop it down to 3rd, and now as I get to sort of midway across the track, or certainly that's what it feels like, I start going on the gas. Now I hold it at around half until the back end has rotated enough to be able to attack this curb on the right hand side. As I get there, I start looking to try and get up to full gas. We head back over to the right-hand side. Now, what I'm looking for is these lampposts on the right-hand side, and it's basically the 2 that you can see on the right. I'm looking for, just as I go past that first one, I'm going to gently go on the brakes and start turning in. We drop it down to 2nd, and we really want to be aiming. If you see, I've got what, 90-degree lock on, and I'm wanting to aim at the inside of this curb, and that will allow the car to understeer its way through there without actually going into the grass, but allowing me to get on the gas as soon as possible and make it through turn 4 flat. Up to 3rd gear, use the nice camber that we've got here. Now to enter into uphill, as I say, I leave it in 3rd gear. I'm looking to get my left-hand tyres on this rumble strip on the left-hand side. And then as I start my turn in, I'm going to do almost a full lift. So I go down to virtually nothing. And then I'm back on 100% as I clip the curb. Now I'm going to do a lift at this last bushy tree on the left-hand side just before this ad hoarding that says Euro something. And I do a little brake, as you can see there, up to about 30%, and now I'm getting back on the gas. And I'm back on 100% as I'm right alongside the apex of the curb. So for the final turn, I've changed up to 4th gear, and I'm going to do a lift as the car compresses in this dip. And again, I just give this curbing the merest of kisses, a peck on the cheek, so to speak, and I'm back up to 100%. If you're doing it right, you should always end up exiting onto this rumble strip, but you don't want to get your left-hand tyres on the mud. You'll see so many people do that this week, and then they'll spin off and they'll end up crashing somewhere around the pit entrance, which my car tried to have me do. Anyway, that is the breakdown lap. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.